Hey, welcome back to the Rock Fantasy YouTube channel. We're here to talk about the Rock Fantasy Anniversary Bash. They call it the event. I call it a festival because it is really a festival. We've got, I'm counting right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 bands actually playing. This is going to be in Warwick, New York at the Warwick Stage at Roosevelt Hall. And for those that don't know, if you want to look on my channel, this is at a former prison. It's in an old facility. It's going to be a great night. And I wanted to get a few of the bands together. I don't have all of them represented tonight. We're going to reach back and talk to some of the other guys and full interviews between now and the weekend to get that up. But tonight we've got some representatives. We got Gil from plays in Show No Mercy. We'll talk a little bit about that. Show No Mercy is not going to be able to play, but he's going to fill in with Final Siege. We got Frank from Another Demon that's also doing the Primeval Tribulation of course, with Andy Eichhorn from Primeval, the big band from back in the 80s up in this area. So that's going to be great. We got James Sinon from Sickbay, who I just caught recently opening up for Septic Flesh and Viltness up in Albany, and they're going to be on the bill. We'll talk to them when we got Tom Cap from Into the Void with us tonight. Into the Void is actually, I guess we should say, Militia. There's two bands that had a drop off. Militia was a very disappointing that they dropped off, but one of the members was diagnosed with an illness and is not able to perform or be there. So they pulled off, and then Show No Mercy, Leo cut his hand at work, so he's unable to play guitar. He's okay. He's going to recover, and hopefully we'll get Show No Mercy back later on. Also, in the room tonight, we got two of the guys from Damage Incorporated, and with Tommy and
Bobby.
yeah, cool. So we got all these guys in. We're going to talk a little bit about the show. The show is the doors are at 2:00. The first band's going to go on about 2:45, which will be Brutality. Then we're going to go into Burn the Ships. I don't have the exact set times in front of me. Then it's going to be I believe it's Another Demon and Primeval Tribulation, Sickbay, Fire Haze, Final Siege, and I believe actually Spellbook is actually coming on before Fire Haze. Spellbook guys were supposed to be here. They're from York, PA. Great band also. And of course, we got Damage Incorporated as our co-headliners with Into the Void. Into the Void will be going on before Damage Incorporated. So welcome everybody to the show tonight. Maybe I will start off with Gil. Gil was great enough because he was on the show already. And I said, well, if Show No Mercy can't play, why don't we ask Gil with Final Siege to play? And Gil, welcome to the show. Tell us a little about Final Siege.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, Stephen. Definitely honored to be a part of this sick bash that you have going on. Uh, you know, for us, we're New York-based death thrash metal band, so it has very much Slayer influence, along with other, death metal bands like Death and Gojira and so on and so forth. So, we're really happy to be a part of it. It's sad that, I can't be performing with the Show No Mercy crew, but we'll definitely be back, like you said. We'll come back up and do, our Slayer-esque style music, play a lot of the old school stuff. But we're going to do a couple of songs. It'll be my first time singing and playing guitar with Final Siege first Slayer song. So I could see why Tom stuck with bass, because I couldn't imagine Carrie or Jeff trying to play the most intricate parts while also singing at the same time. So we'll see how it goes,
We put you in the fire. So how long has Final Siege been around?
So Final Siege formed in 2018, started performing live in 2019. We released our first album in 2021 called March to Your Grave, and had a lineup change in 2022. So after the lineup change, we started recording our new music, which our latest album, Nuclear Doomstate, was released in well, we independently released it March 8th of 2024, and then it got picked up by a label called Wormhole Death Records. So we ended up re-releasing it under them in December 27th, if I'm not mistaken, of 2024.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
I guess a little bit, was supposed to start off with, we've been doing this anniversary show for many, many years now. I didn't talk about this when I was live. We were talking about it before we came on. Of course, my store is 39 years old, makes me pretty old. We were supposed to have this last fall, but I'm no longer at the venue that we were working with. And I spoke with the people, the people from Diamond Grade Entertainment were great. They were actually at the show that Gil that you played at last summer, along with Frank with Another Demon. They came
Oh
and
yeah.
saw what we had going on at the cancer benefit we did. And they said,
Hmm.
wow, let's do something with you guys. And originally this was going to be at the Sugarloaf Performing Arts Center. Then they got this other venue. But going back in time, we've been doing this. We used to do this in Middletown. We did it at places like the Class, which was a great rock club that had all kinds of great bands that played there over the years. You know, Alice in Chains, Overkill played there. Rock Palace, we did a show. We did an anniversary or one or two there. Right, Creator had played there. Coroner had played there. A lot of hardcore bands. Then we moved to mid '90s. We did one at Sportland USA. All these clubs are long gone, and that was the biggest one we ever did. It was Morpheus Descends. There was a Kiss tribute. We had to headline that night. I had my band DCM out. We got raided. The place got
Oh,
raided. Literally after my band went off, we walked outside and we were like theatrical. We had freaking masks and all kinds of stupid shit. So we walked outside and literally there were school buses pulling in with police cars and helicopters. And we were like, what's going on? It was some Operation Underage Drinking thing. And they literally shut the bar down and made everybody go one side and ID'd everybody. It was a real hassle, but the show went on. But we all talk about that from back in the day. If Andy was here tonight, because Andy's going to be doing Primeval, he was probably there from the old school. Then later on, we started doing these shows at the Chance. And then we were just putting our name on like national tours that were coming through, like Suffocation had played shows that were anniversary shows there. We had Mayhem one year. We had Marduk one year. We had a lot of great shows at the Chance. We would do those there a lot. Then we did a couple back in Middletown. We did one outside at the Orange County Fair a few years ago. And then we ended up doing a couple at Quinn's Pins. And now we're here at this brand new venue. It's not a new venue. It's an old prison. And it's very rustic. And you walk through the check-in gates. It's going to feel like we're doing a metal show on the set of a Walking Dead episode, I think. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
So we got Frank from Another Demon. Let's talk to him a little bit and we'll talk a little bit about the Primeval Tribulation. It doesn't look like Andy's going to make the episode tonight, but I don't see him yet.
Yeah. Andy's off the grid still. He doesn't want to download Zoom. So
I figured he'd work for
for
NBC and everything. He'd have all that checked out already.
That's what I said, but that's cool. So what's up?
So let's hear a little bit about Another Demon, how long you guys have been around, and then let's talk a little bit about the set you're doing, and you're doing the Primeval Tribulation, which is with Andy, and let's hear a little bit about that.
Sure. So, Another Demons. Again, we're brothers with Final Siege and Fire Haze as New York City thrash bands, right?
Well,
so we're coming together to rock out together. We've been together for a couple of years. We're fronted by Max Capshore, who used to be the touring drummer for Sick of It All. Now he plays bass and sings for us, so that's pretty cool. We're recording actually this weekend, so we'll be debuting a couple of new songs when we play at the show. Yep. So we're looking forward to that. And then we got approached by Andy Eichhorn to take on the moniker of Primeval as well. So we've been working hard at that too. So we have 2 bands worth of music to come out with, and we're looking forward to bringing out some of the old school tunes. We're only doing a couple of them, but we're playing a couple other shows later on in the year to do a full extended set of the Primeval songs.
They're doing Ed Forsley's Armageddon Fest,
Oh yeah.
Armageddon Productions. I saw Ed's a regular on the channel. Actually, there's an episode of the Rock Fantasy Files actually taping while we're taping this, and I had the guys do it themselves tonight. I was like, hey, I want to get this, I want to get the word out about this fest because we're in the countdown now. It's next Saturday already. Can you believe it?
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're about 10 days out. So we got James here from Sickbay,
What's happening?
New York, death metal, and you guys have just gone through some lineup changes, so you're gonna have a fresh lineup for this event. You've actually, I think, had a show, or have you done any shows with a new drummer? I know you have with the current singer, because I've seen.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, we played in Queens with our first show with a new drummer, and they stepped right in, stepped right up. So we knew that Chris, our drummer, got a new job in January, so he had said that he had to step down, and so we found AJ. He used to be in a band called Snap Ring, that's from Orange County band.
I remember that name, yeah.
And he jumped right in, and he learned to set pretty quickly. So, and our new singer, he at the Septic Flex show, he just we needed a singer last minute. We called at like 3:30 in the afternoon on a ride up to Albany, and he jumped in. He did the set for us, and he just stuck around. He came to. So after that show, I asked him. I said, "We have a couple more shows lined up. I doubt I'm going to find anybody that quick. You want to do them?" So he said yes. And then after like the second practice he came down for, I asked him. He said, "If you want to just join the band, you're killing it." So he was like, "Oh fuck yeah!" So somehow it's flowed together. Part of being a band forever is lineup changes. Fortunately, if you get two members leave at the same time, it kind of sucks. But we haven't missed a beat. So we played Queens, and it was a good time. So looking forward to this show. Thanks for having us. This is a pretty cool show because pretty much all the bands I've already played with, everybody's cool as shit. It's been a bit since. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Seriously, man, it's been a while.
I think we played with you. I think Final Siege's first show.
Wow.
Was your first show at Blackthorn 51?
Oh no. That was it. We were a year in to be into the band, but
with
that was Tombstoner's first show. That was Tombstoner's first show. Yeah. But that was a hell of a
so
show.
It's cool. so as Steve asked me to do this, I was like, fuck yeah. And then as the band started coming, I'm like, oh hell yeah, this is gonna be cool. It's gonna be a good time.
And you have some new music. Didn't you just release a new record, did you?
In September we released.
Okay.
Yeah, September we released a new album, Permanent Solution. So we've already got the next album underway.
Okay.
Before the other guys left, we had 8 songs written. So now we're in the process of rewriting them, but hoping to record it before the end of the year too. So been busy as hell, which is good.
Cool. So you guys have been around for how many years?
A bunch. We turned into Sickbay in 2000. So from 2000 until like 2006, we were pretty steady, and we took a little over 10 years off. In 2016, we got back together. So
awesome.
We've been hitting the pavement ever since.
So I set this up every year, the last couple of years, and I like having the showcase because some people say like, oh, you got cover bands, but yeah, we do have cover bands, but we have original bands too. So we showcase the original bands, and then at the end of the night, we just have this huge party with all the songs we know from like a Slayer band or a Metallica tribute or a Black Sabbath. And then it's just a party at the end of the night. And that's why I try to set this up. So let's talk to those folks now. And then we can talk a little bit about this because Tom jumped in with Into the Void. And first, because we didn't know the status of Leo from Show No Mercy. We were waiting to hear him back from the doctor. And we were hoping for good news. And we've heard that he wasn't going to do it. And first, Into the Void could do it. But then their regular vocalist, Johnny Brulo, couldn't make the show. But then Tom pulled some strings. So we'll let him talk about that. And Tom, of course, how long has Into the Void been around? Of course, you played with Sabra Cadaver years ago. You're another metal veteran that's going to be in this lineup.
Yeah, Sabracadabra was from like 93 to 05, late 05. And then I quit the band, and then I formed Into the Void in early 06. And we've been together since then. Again, like Gil was saying, there's a couple lineup changes, but seemed like everyone was to make the band better and better. And we're just like humming along now. We just did a benefit for brain injured kids last Saturday and here in Jersey, and it was awesome. Just sounded great. If you go on my Facebook page or Into the Void Facebook, that whole hour-long set is on there, and everybody just sounded great. Yeah, John. The way I run the band is, if you're going to block out a date, you have to give it to me in advance, and I'll make sure I don't, book something on a date. And John forgot to give me this date of Steve's shindig, and I was like, yeah, we'll fill in if this guy can't make it. It's no problem. Hope he's okay. The whole thing. And then John just chimes in, oh, that's my mom's birthday. We got a party. I'm like, hold on, let me see if this other guy can do it. And the funny thing is, Into the Void has been around since 06. And we, once in a while, John had heart trouble. Yeah. Then one time he had a kidney stone attack. So I used to call this guy, because his name is Steve Desco, from like South Jersey by Philly. Yeah. And he does an Ozzy show, another Sabbath band, all this stuff. And this guy looks, just walking down the street every day, he looks like Ozzy. But he also sounds like him, and he can really portray him exactly on stage. This guy's like a dead ringer. He sings like him, looks like him, funny as hell, acts like him. He's a great front man. So we're lucky to have him. And, he's an hour and a half south of me, and you guys are an hour and a half north. So for this show, he's coming like 3 hours one way. And so he's a trooper. So he had another Sabbath band as well as an Ozzy band, and they just kind of like parted ways. So he pretty much picked up all of Into the Void except John, and we started a new band with him called Sabbath Superstars. And we're going to be playing all over the place. He got connections in all these theaters and bigger rooms and like higher paying places. And he's lucky too, because he got 3 seasoned musicians who have been playing Sabbath for like 25, 30 years. Okay. And, like for this show, we ain't practicing or nothing. We all been doing it. We're all going to show up. We're all jumping on stage, and we're going to tear it up, man. So anytime we played with this guy, Steve, it's been phenomenal. So like you said, no one's going to be disappointed. And when I saw the list of bands playing, I said to myself, you know what? We got to come strong, because we're going to be like the lightest band in the room, man, compared to all you guys. So like, I never had that happen with Sabbath. Like, what? We're like coming up there like fucking Barry Manilow. So now I think the
Spellbook's a stoner, kind of a stoner band too. So they'll fit in with you guys too. But
that's cool.
I think that the guys from Damage Incorporated kind of went through that with us last time, because when we had Damage at the Quinn's Pins, we did we called it the Rock Fantasy Thrash Bash, I believe. And I think Fire Haze was on that. Was another demon? Were you guys on that too? Another demon? No, you weren't on that. Maybe it was Crucial Pain. And we had a couple pretty heavy bands, and I know that Damage Inc. pulled out the heavy card on the Metallica ticket. Yeah. And you guys went over very well. So Tom, so you guys sounded excellent, and it was a gentleman that was at one of the tables at the Zone and said, hey, because they kind of knew I had talked to him at the Show No Mercy may not do it. They said, why don't you ask Into the Void? And I said, well, you know what? And we were watching you guys that night, and you sounded so good. And of course, John sounded better than ever, I think, that night too. But
Yeah.
he gone through some health issues and lost some weight, and he was really doing well. And I said, well, at least I got a backup then, because it was very stressful losing Show No Mercy and Militia from this all in the same like couple days. First we heard Militia was off, and we're like, it's a big blow. And then we heard Show No Mercy was off. We said we got to scramble to do something. So, and of course, Gil, you can blame Billy, because Billy's like, yeah, Final Seats could do a couple Slayer songs.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was totally fine. I mean,
Yeah.
once we got on, I was like, I'll learn it, and
Good.
we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get
Good.
through it. I'm just, how I am.
let's welcome to the show the gentleman from Damage Incorporated. Let's hear a little bit about Damage Inc. How long you guys been doing this stuff for?
Oh man, we've been doing this for a little while now, but we haven't really come to fruition until we got Tommy in the band. And what is that, about 4 years now?
No, I think we were like three. Yeah, about that.
I don't know. Either way, time flies when we're having fun. But before we go any further, I really want to wish Leo a full and thorough recovery.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he recovers from his hand. I'm a carpenter myself, and those hands are so important.
Yeah,
and especially for guitar players.
And
we're really psyched to be doing this show, man. We've got a really thrashy set list put together.
Yeah, like nothing else matters is not going to be in this set.
No, we're going to skip.
All the guys are going to be disappointed.
I thought you were doing. I thought you were going to
we
do.
saw who we were playing with, and we were like, what, we gotta represent.
We gotta bring it.
We gotta bring it. So
you guys aren't doing Reload in its entirety.
Maybe if you want, but
we're adding solos to that though.
And what do you? So Tommy, you're the drummer, and then
yeah,
and then of course
I play bass, but Bobby, I play bass and sing.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
name is Gil.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. And you guys have played on the island quite a bit, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do okay on the island, but we really like to get up to Middletown, man. The metal is still alive and well in Middletown, and we love to play up there. Every chance that we get, we take it.
Where we're going to be a little bit further from Middletown. We're going to be in Warwick, so this is new turf for all of us. But it's going to be interesting that night. But the stage is huge. If you look at the video, I did a walkthrough.
Yeah, we saw the video. Yeah, it looks big.
Wow, it's a huge stage. I think you could almost set up 2 kits on there at the same time.
Yeah,
nice.
But we're really looking forward.
It really is an honor playing with all you guys and everything. I've listened. I went on Facebook or whatever, and I heard. I'm like, wow. These guys are really good. So all these bands are just they sound incredible.
So I was just listening to a bunch of Brutality on the way here.
Yeah, those kids, young
kids.
I would
do that for every song.
They contacted me back a couple of years ago, and we brought them in to play a Christmas Eve. It was like the day before Christmas Eve, and they were playing with a classic rock cover band, and these kids brought it. And I mean, they're young, and they tour extensively. Brutality is. I will be doing an interview with them by themselves before the show, because they couldn't make it tonight, and they go all around Mexico and North America.
Wow.
They keep very busy, and their parents are sweethearts too. They come to all the shows, and they have a lot of cool merch. And Brutality's kicking it off, and Burn the Ships is New York hardcore, female fronted, and that's a couple of guys from the band Necroptic Engorgement that are doing this, and that's Will's wife, of course. Christina is in that band, and of course Fire Haze are our boys from the city also, that more of like a blackened thrash, I guess, at times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And of course Spellbook is just another whole theatrical band that'll fit more with the Sabbath more than the thrashy. I'm not to say they're not heavy, but we'll be chatting with them too, hopefully before. And they came to the Quins and did a show, and I thought that they were really good. And I said, when there wasn't a big turnout because they were with another band that was from out of the area, I said, I want to put them on a show where there's a crowd. So Spellbook is going to be a treat to see also. But this is looking to be a real big party. There's going to be food truck there, or food trucks, I believe. There's a full bar there. This is all ages event too. So you could bring bring kids if you want to bring the kids to watch the show. It's also, and I didn't mention this yet, this is a benefit for Pets Alive. They're not, part of the proceeds are going to go to Pets Alive. They're also looking for donations of supplies, blankets and dog toys, cat supplies, food, whatever you'd like to bring. We'll be collecting at the door. And of course, the Pets Alive people will be on hand. I think they'll have a couple critters with them, that maybe even.
Yes, fuck yeah.
I always try to incorporate a
That's the
charity.
best
Like
part.
we just did Into the Void, played at the Zone in Middletown, a new venue, and we pulled together, and PDH helped us a lot, the radio station, and we did a thing for the food kitchen in town, and the people came out from the food kitchen, enjoyed the show, and it really we had a good crowd that night. Had a good crowd in Middletown.
Yeah,
so
no doubt.
I don't.
Hey, Steve, I wanted to point out, I told my guys, you better make the set list on the heavy side of the Sabbath. Plan on hearing some
Children of the grave.
Confusion, maybe Symptom, and some Sabbath Bloody. And
Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is going to be right up there with anything else the thrash guys are going to do.
Yeah.
Hole in the sky.
It's funny. It's like you said though too. By the end of the night, hopefully everybody's lick it up. They're singing along with the songs. We recreate that you guys love. Brings you back to like 1988, 86.
Yeah.
You sing along, you just have a good time, and like I said, it's just an honor to be on the stage with all these bands, and we're very thank you.
Really excited. We're totally psyched.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. I wish I knew that it was a former prison yard, because I would have contacted you guys. I'm like, you guys could have did Saint Anger, we could have did Repentless, since that fucking video is in a jail cell. Could have been sick.
I would have brought the keg can friggin' snare drum.
Yeah. I would have had the eye patch. I would have had the fucking eye patch.
Now you've got yourself in trouble, Gil. Now you have to.
I did. I know. I got to add one
now
more
you
song.
have to play the song with Pepless. You got only 4 songs.
I got to see if I can find 4 orange jumpsuits for us to wear.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can get the old WWE superstar nails to show up.
Oh.
So
Nice.
I don't know if we covered most of the bases here tonight, but Frank, what else you got to say with Another Demon? You got anything more to add to it? Frank is actually, Another Demon's also been gracious enough, and they did the back line for us, supplied and did a lot of work for us when we did the Metal Against Cancer.
Appreciate that.
Last summer, and we want to give our hearts go out to you guys for doing that extra work, because you didn't have to.
No. It's our pleasure, and we made sure our logo isn't on the bass drum skin, so it's nice and universal for everybody. So nobody worry about that. Everything's gonna look good. I actually found some extra hardware too, that from my son's old kit, so I'm gonna bring that too if anybody needs anything extra. So we're looking good for that. We're looking forward to that, and like I said, we're recording some new music this Sunday, so in true metal fashion, on Easter, you go into the recording studio. That's the way to do it, right? So,
I mean, that's 420.
It's 420 Easter this year.
It's also 420.
It happens every so often. I remember when I was in my old shop, I'd say it was probably around 10 years ago or so. I remember that Nile were playing like the Gramercy or Irving Plaza on Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
I remember I still have that flyer somewhere. It's like Nile with like an Easter bunny on it. Oh yeah, it's 420 this week. So 420, and then 426 is when we'll be hanging out in Warwick at the Warwick Stage. This stage was built by Eleanor Roosevelt, and I don't want to scare people from going, but they say that they do paranormal activities in this building quite often, and I've talked to other people that have gone there. And I guess a couple of years ago they did a Halloween haunt walkthrough through the facility. We're just using the stage. We're not using the whole building, but you get the whole area. And there's a nice brewery right up the road too called the Drownlands Brewery that you can check out. And I heard nothing but great things about that. That's right at the entrance to the
It's very good.
compound.
I've been there.
You've been there.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
the other side of the prison's a baseball complex, so I've been there before. That's how I weathered the games.
Oh wow.
so if you like,
Yeah.
so if you like classic Metallica, you like classic Black Sabbath, you like death metal, you like thrash metal, and you like hardcore, and you just want to come out for a good cause and to celebrate me being old, 39 years. When this is done, as soon as this is done next week, I'm starting to work on the 40th anniversary, which will be this fall proper. So, well,
Nice.
I guess we'll wrap this up and hope to see. And I don't have the link for tickets here, but you can go to www.warwickstage.com and you can buy tickets there. Or if you're in the Middletown area, you can buy tickets directly right here at Rock Fantasy with no service charge, $20. Just bring some cash in and we'll see you soon. Rock Fantasy will be open that day. I believe we're going to close early at like 5 o'clock. So all my employees can be part of this show. Or 4 o'clock, and we'll make note of that. But if you want to come up to the shop earlier that day and buy some merchandise or play some pinball, we more than welcome that too. So, or if you want to stay overnight and go there on Sunday, we'll be open. But thanks for everyone for joining us tonight. Damage Incorporated, Tom from Into the Void, James from Sickbay. Go check these bands out and go buy some stuff from them, or go check out their music on social media or Spotify or whatever music you look for. And we'll see everybody soon. And every time I go to New York City, I see Gil at the show. Just saw him at Belfagor. Just saw him at Mayhem. I don't know how. Almost every time I go to the Gramercy, he is there. So
yep,
it's always good to see you. And
you as well, brother.
Thanks again, and we'll talk soon.
All right, thank you.